Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're looking into mirror neurons. Those brain cells that might be pretty central to how we understand each other, how we connect, how we learn stuff.
Exactly. Think of it as a quick briefing on what they are and why they matter for, well, everyday life, really.
We want to give you a grasp of, what they are, maybe where they are, and how they might be involved in things like empathy or picking up a new skill.
Right. Just the core ideas, drawing from the current understanding in neuroscience so you can get a handle on it pretty quickly.
Okay, let's start there then. What are these mirror neurons?
So, put simply, a mirror neuron is a type of brain cell that fires both when you, say, pick up a cup and when you watch someone else pick up that same cup.
Huh.
They're mainly found in the parts of the brain that handle motor control, planning movements, executing them, the premotor cortex, parietal lobe, areas like that.
Wow. So my brain is kind of simulating the action just by watching. That's wild. How on earth did scientists find these?
Oh, it was actually a bit of an accident. Pure serendipity, really. Yeah, back in the 90s, researchers in Italy, they were studying the motor cortex in macaque monkeys, recording single neuron activity.
Yeah.
And they noticed these specific neurons firing not just when the monkey performed an action, like grabbing a peanut,
Right.
but also when it just watched a researcher grab a peanut. They weren't expecting that at all.
A total surprise. So, okay, connecting this to us, when I see someone like stub their toe and I physically cringe, is that my mirror neurons firing? Is that the empathy connection people talk about?
That's certainly the dominant theory, yes. The idea is that by sort of internally simulating or mirroring the observed action and perhaps the associated feeling, our brain gets a more direct, almost visceral understanding of what the other person is experiencing. It's not just cognitive understanding, it's like feeling a faint echo.
An echo. I like that.
And yeah, this might be a really fundamental basis for empathy and our social understanding.
Makes sense. What about learning? I mean, personally, I learn a lot by watching someone demonstrate something first. Are mirror neurons playing a role there?
Absolutely. They're thought to be crucial for imitation learning. It's one of the main ways we acquire new skills, especially motor skills.
So watching a video on how to, I don't know, swing a golf club.
Exactly. When you watch that expert swing, your mirror neurons linked to those movements are potentially firing as if you were making those movements yourself, even subtly. It helps create a kind of neural blueprint.
A blueprint. Okay. And what about seeing emotions? Like when you see someone genuinely joyful and you feel a bit happier too, is that the same mechanism?
It could well be related. Observing someone's facial expression or body language expressing an emotion might activate our own mirror neurons in a way that resonates with that emotional state, giving us that shared feeling, that emotional contagion you sometimes get.
Could that scale up? Like the feeling in a crowd at a concert or a game, that shared excitement. Mirror neurons contributing to that collective feeling.
It's a plausible idea that simultaneous mirroring across many individuals could amplify the shared emotional experience and strengthen that feeling of group connection, maybe even influence group behavior. It's an interesting thought.
Now, something I've definitely heard mentioned is a potential link between mirror neurons and autism. What's the thinking there?
Okay, so this is a really active but also quite complex area of research. Some studies have suggested potential differences in mirror neuron system activity in some individuals with autism spectrum disorder.
Differences how?
Potentially less activity or different patterns of activity, which might relate to some of the challenges in social communication or understanding others' intentions that can be part of autism. And this is important.
Okay.
It's not a straightforward cause and effect thing. The findings are mixed, the systems involved are complex, and it's definitely not the whole story. More research is really needed.
Got it. So it's an area to watch, but no simple answers yet. What about, can we train our mirror neurons, make them stronger to be more empathetic or learn faster?
That's another fascinating question. The idea of neuroplasticity suggests brains can change. So could targeted observation or maybe certain types of practice enhance mirror neuron function? It's being explored. Think about potential applications in rehabilitation or improving social skills. But again, we're still in the relatively early stages of understanding if and how we could intentionally modulate this system effectively.
Interesting. And one more connection language. How do these action observation neurons link to something seemingly abstract like language?
Well, some theories propose that the mirror system might have provided a crucial evolutionary scaffold for language. The ability to understand the meaning of an action by simulating it internally
Right.
could have been a precursor to associating actions with sounds or gestures, which is fundamental to symbolic communication. Think about understanding pointing or gestures accompanying speech. The mirror system helps grasp the intention behind the action.
So it could be part of how we even got language off the ground, evolutionarily speaking.
That's one influential line of thought, yeah. Linking action understanding to communication.
Okay, so let's recap quickly. Mirror neurons,
Uh,
they fire when we act and when we see someone else do the same action.
correct.
And they seem to be involved in quite a lot, understanding others' actions and maybe feelings, learning by imitation, possibly social bonding, and maybe even the foundations of language.
That sums it up pretty well. They offer this really intriguing window into how our brains are fundamentally wired for social interaction and learning from others.
So maybe as you go through your day today, just notice those moments when you understand someone without words, or you find yourself mimicking a gesture, or you feel that pang of empathy.
Yeah, consider that your mirror neurons might be quietly working behind the scenes, bridging the gap between you and the world around you.
It makes you wonder what other hidden connections are shaping our experience. Something to ponder. Thanks for joining us on the Deep Dive.